Welcome back to the QZ Show. I'm your host, Quinn Peplow, alongside Mateo Zavala. We have some more NFL news today, and we're going to go over our season predictions for this upcoming season, including the playoffs. We'll start out with some news. First off, Julio Jones, the trade. He was traded to the Titans for...
He got I was a lot less than I was expecting. Because they were wanting a first-round pick.
I know they were, and I didn't think any other team would offer a first-round pick because Julio Jones is 32 years old, and he's not healthy all the time. This past year, he only started 9 games, and it seems like
he was injured.
He's not as durable.
Half those 9 games as well. He got injured during those games. Yeah,
he's not as durable. But I mean, the Titans gave the Falcons a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick, and then the Titans got a 6th-rounder and Julio Jones in return. Titans won this trade
without a doubt.
They're going for the Super Bowl this year. Their offense is going to be a super team. I really like their offense
because it helps around too with the offense because not all the pressure is going to be on AJ Brown. Because if Julio wasn't on the Titans, that they'll put their top corner against AJ Brown, and that's it. They don't have anyone else.
Really? I really feel like they're going to put their top corner on Julio Jones.
I was saying
AJ Brown.
No, that's not what I was saying. If they didn't make that trade with the Falcons,
okay.
that would make the off because he makes a big difference because he puts the better corner on him. But without Julio Jones there, it'll be all pressure on AJ Brown, and they have no one else because they don't have Corey Davis anymore.
Yeah. So, and they lost their tight end to the Pats.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith. But they do like the Anthony Firkser. He has some pretty solid games when Jonnu was out.
Yeah, he did. They still have Derrick Henry too. Ryan Tannehill, I think
he's still going.
He's a rising star. He's a stud these past 2 seasons. He's really turned it around with the Titans as the starting quarterback ever since stuff didn't go well.
Do you know the Titans actually saved money on this trade?
Oh, they did?
Hear me out. Because if they picked up Corey Davis' 5th-year option, it was supposed to be $15 million. Or it's 15 to 14, and Julio's 13.5. So they kind of saved a little bit of money, but we all know Julio's way better than Corey Davis.
He is. Julio, even though he played 9 games this season,
he still made a difference.
He still made a difference. He made the Falcons' offense better. I mean, he averaged 85.7 yards per game. He still, has lack of touchdowns in the red zone and in the regular season, but I think that's going to be bumped up more with this Titans offense. I still feel like the Titans offense, because they have Derrick Henry, they're still going to be balanced. And Ryan Tannehill, he can run the ball too. So it's going to be, I think, the first 8 games of the season, they're going to have a balanced run-pass offense. Then at the end and in the playoffs, they're going to go pass-heavy to A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Julio Jones, because of this new trade, Julio Jones, I think he's going to be double-teamed, triple-teamed. It's going to leave more holes for A.J. Brown.
Great fantasy pickup in the future.
Yes, I think A.J. Brown is going to have a great stellar year this year, including receiving touchdowns.
1,000+ yards for sure.
For sure. More than 10+ receiving touchdowns.
But people are worried about their defense, but I still have faith in them. They'll still go really far.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel, he's a smart guy with defense.
Yeah, very good coach, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, how you feel about these cornerbacks kind of being little brats almost?
What do you mean,
how Stephon Gilmore and Xavier Howard both sat out of minicamp, mandatory minicamp, because they wanted new contracts.
I mean, it's good for them, because good for Xavier Howard, because he won that deal, and the Dolphins gave him the deal. Dolphins are a great defense right now. Brian Flores has built a
really
great
young
defense.
core.
Young core, forced fumbles, sacks, picks. I think Xavier Howard, he's probably the best DB in the league right now.
Yes.
He's the highest paid DB in the league right now. He had a 5-year, $76.5 million extension because of the holdout. 10 interceptions this season.
Which led the league. But
amazing.
But the highest paid cornerback before was his teammate. Fun fact, Byron Jones.
Oh, he was?
Highest paid corner. But Stephon Gilmore, do you think the Patriots should trade him, or do you think he should stay with the team?
I would like for him to still be on the team. Belichick could still maybe use him for 1 more year. He's still good. He's not
as good as he was.
Well, he's still good. He's still great.
He's still great. He's still a great player.
He's not going to have the best season ever.
He might regress because this is when
he's going to start to regress because he's getting older. He's been on the Bills and Patriots for so many years. I think this is more than 10 years, right? He's been in the league.
or 10.
It could be his 11.
It's around that time.
It's around that time.
But
He got a lot of interceptions.
but I feel like the Patriots should trade him
I feel like they should too.
because they could get some value out of him back, like maybe like more they get more defense, like younger defensive weapons from other teams.
Or somebody on their offense.
Yeah, or like offensive, or someone for the offense, like another receiver, or they could get like more assets on the defense because they already have Jonathan Jones, J.C. Jackson, who is a really underrated
he got
corner.
a lot of picks this season.
He's a really underrated corner. They still have Devin McCourty, one of the
both
twins.
the twins.
Yeah,
Don't they
no,
both the twins?
one got released, one's
got
still on the
released.
team. But they still have those guys, which are really good DBs. So I think they're just gonna. I think it'll be the best option to trade him.
Yeah, I think even if they still trade him, their defense is still
Yeah.
going to be really good.
Because his contract's up this upcoming year.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be a great trade asset. Because people are saying trade him to the Cardinals. And, I mean, that would be a good option.
Yeah.
But, like, if I were to trade the Cardinals, I would want Christian Kirk, maybe a young linebacker,
Uh-huh.
and, like, a 5th-round pick for Gilmore.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad trade.
Because
Well, like,
they need that young.
if the Patriots do keep him, Stephon Gilmore, he could sit out.
Well, he'll still
And
make a
then
difference.
He's going to try to like get more money for
Yeah.
his next contract. And he's just not going to be worth it because he's getting older and they're not going to
And
be
the
as
Pa-
durable.
And the Patriots still have solid DBs.
They do. They
can-
have solid second and third string DBs like Jackson and that other guy.
JC,
you
yeah,
said.
JC Jackson played great.
All right. So, what's next is our standings. Do you want me to go first or you
Well,
go
first you want to respond to those about your
I know.
first
So
predictions.
we have a
about
QZ show TikTok.
TikTok. Make sure to follow.
Yes, follow.
Link below.
It's starting to pop up now. I did my first predictions, and
The people didn't really like them.
they didn't.
They
And
didn't.
I kind of, I'll be honest, I kind of rushed them a little bit, but I thought I had them. I really did. But I maybe might have been a little biased on the Chargers. 15-2. I had them winning their division.
Still a playoff team, but
Yes.
but do you
Tampa
want to
Bay-
say some of the comments that you found below?
Oh, some of the comments. I love those comments. There is some worse ones. I'm going to read just a few of them, but there are some worse ones on our TikTok. They're like, one guy said, let me get some of what you're smoking. AFC West is cap. Chargers one is a little bit biased. I do agree with that.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
a
I
little bit
mean,
biased.
they are right.
And then somebody said something about the Eagles. They're like, there's no way the Eagles are going to go 3-14. They went
I
to the
mean-
Super Bowl a couple of years ago. I mean, I did my new predictions,
Mm-hmm.
but like, the Eagles, they're not going to be a playoff team. I still think they're going to be bad, even with the new predictions I had. Earlier I had them 3-14. Now I have them.
They're just gonna be maybe borderline, like the bottom seed. That's like the best they'll do. That's like that's like their ceiling. Their
What?
their ceiling is at the 8th seed. Their floor is horrible.
It is.
So like for me, going along with my predictions, I have them just as like a team in the middle. Like not too good, not too bad. They're
What
not,
about the Bucks?
They're
Are
not
the
too
Bucks doing well?
For me, yes, they are. I have them going I have them going to the playoffs, being the top seed in the NFC South.
Yeah.
And I think they're just make a big difference. But going back to the Eagles, I was saying I have them going 7-10
7-10.
in my predictions because they're just gonna be a solid team in the middle because they have a decent offense and have a decent defense. So and plus they're playing in a division where everyone's almost kind of like the same skill wise. Where it's gonna be close. So that's why I think it's just gonna be like they're gonna split their games. Like I have them like Giants winning a game, then the Eagles win the next.
So, what divisional record do you have them as? Like for those 6 games?
For those 6 games, I don't recall, but I have them going 7-10 on the season.
Okay, I have them going 6-11 on the season. I have Dallas winning that division
Close. I mean, I do too, but not by much. By 1 game.
by 1 game.
I have Washington. I have them up.
Football team.
I have the football team 9-8 and have.
I do. I have them 9-8 as well.
And have the Cowboys 10-7. They'll be first in the division if they had a better QB. Because Fitzmagic, you don't know what you're gonna get out of them. You're gonna get like the really cool.
Inconsistency.
You're get like the really cool Fitzmagic, like on the
Bucks and
Buccaneers.
Jets.
Yeah, or you get the crappy Fitzpatrick, where he just bounces all around the league.
I think they'll get a little bit of that with his style of play.
And the Giants are gonna be the same. Like just like
I'm bad.
I'm going 7-10
I
as
haven't
well.
gone last in their division.
They're- I'm going like iffy. Like
Let's
same.
talk about the NFC West. I think this will be the best division in football
Oh,
out of the
without-
AFC and NFC.
Without doubt, it's gonna be really close. Who do you have as your top team in the division?
Top team, number one, leading their division. I have the 49ers, 13-4. I have Arizona, the Cardinals going 13-4, second.
Ooh,
Then I have Seattle, 10-7. Then the Rams last, 10-7.
I mean for me, how you have the Ram? I mean, are relatively close, but how you have the Ram? I mean the Cardinals going 13-4.
13-4. I think they're going to be good. I think Kyler Murray will peak out this year. He's going to have a great, outstanding year this year. This is his third year, and he's got something to prove. He's got to prove that he can be reliable,
That quarterback
and
that they
that
want.
guy who can make
The
can
plays.
make spectacular plays. We've seen him before, but I think he's going to really make a playoff push, and a serious push for the Cardinals. You know, in the playoffs and the regular season.
Yeah, but what J.J. Watt do you think they're going to get? The injury-prone J.J. Watt or the J.J. Watt that is
J.J.
a monster?
He might miss out 3 games. He's not going to be a monster.
No,
He's gonna
but
get,
don't
like,
forget Chandler Jones is going to be back.
He is. He's going to get a lot more sacks this season.
No,
he was hurt last season.
Because they're going to be an opposite end because Jones is going to be on our left and
You have Watt going on the right.
Watt going on the right, and they're going to put their best blocker on one of them. So the other one's going to have a good opening to charge in
Yeah.
the sack. So it's going to be like a good rush, like front seven. But for me, for my standings, I have the Rams first in the division, going 11-6, and I have the Niners going 11-6, and then I have Seattle going 10-7, and I have the Cardinals last in the division going 8-9.
Okay, that's respectable.
Because
Uh,
their division's so
Their
hard.
division is stacked and hard.
Yeah, but I just don't think they have the defense to play against the Seattle offense. That's why I have them below Seattle.
You know, Seattle. I like Seattle. They're a good team, but like at the end of the season, they like always choke.
Like last year,
won the
Wilson was
playoffs.
the MVP candidate.
He was,
And
and
they
then he fell out in like week 7.
Yeah.
Kept throwing picks. Led the league in turnovers, with interceptions and fumbles
Yeah.
combined.
So like, yeah, I agree. Like, it's gonna be a really tough division. Like, it could go any way possible.
Yeah.
Just depending on injuries. Injuries like for the 49ers last year, injuries took a
Yeah.
big role out of the whole.
They didn't have any injuries.
They
They
were
would be a playoff team
team.
and maybe a
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
contender.
team. That's why I have the Niners winning their division, because they have. I think they still have a great defense and they have great offensive weapons.
Yeah.
And I believe in Jimmy G this season. I think he's going to have a good season, especially with Justin Fields behind his back.
Trey Lance
Or
behind his
Trey
back.
Lance. My bad.
And so let's go on to the NFC South. What's your standings there?
Oh, I have Tampa Bay 14-3. They're winning their division.
Yeah, without that, I agree with that.
Even though Drew Brees retired, I have the Saints going second in the division, 8-9. I think Jameis Winston will do a good job. They'll still use the Taysom Hill gadget plays. Taysom Hill might even start a game or two. I don't know. And
Well,
then
depending on the Winston they get, if he's been training,
I think Winston will do fine. They did well with Teddy Bridgewater.
he went 7-0 in the starts there.
He did. He did really well. Panthers, I have them going 6-7. They're still going to be bad, but they're going to be a tad better this season. Darnold, I don't really believe in him.
We'll just
yet.
have to find out how he does
We'll have
with
to
Matt
find out.
Rule and his crazy playbook.
Yeah. Falcons, I have them going 4-13. I just don't believe in Matt Ryan anymore. It's not that he's old. He's just not good with the Falcons anymore. And their defense is not good at all.
No.
I don't believe in the Falcons anymore.
Yeah, their defense is not good. I agree with that. Like the Saints, I haven't. This is gonna be a down year, and next year,
Yeah.
for next year, they're gonna be back up for a contender in that division with the Panthers. But so my prediction is that I have the Bucks going 12-5 because, well, they play the Bears, and the Bears. Oh, I mean, I have a feeling just the only game Nick Foles is gonna play this season is gonna be against Tampa. Nick Foles is
No.
undefeated against Tom Brady.
He is.
No, I feel like that's gonna be one of their losses against the Bears because Nick
Okay.
Foles is gonna start. And I mean, and I have the Saints going 5-12. It's surprising because I just think it's gonna be a down year. Jameis Winston's gonna. It's gonna be a rough start. I feel like he's gonna get injured because he
Okay.
hadn't played in a while. And I have the Panthers going along with you. Like you don't know what Darnold we're gonna get. We still have to find out about
Yeah,
that.
you don't know really what to see
Mhm.
if the Panthers. are
But
gonna
they
be
do have a
explosive.
really, really young defense, which I really like a
Yeah.
lot. And I have the Falcons, like what you said, they're just gonna be not good at
They're
all.
not gonna be good.
Like 4-13, not gonna be good at all.
Right.
Win a few games.
Now
Let's go to the NFC North. Our hometown, Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, I know there's a lot of Bears fans, and there are Packers fans watching the QZ show. But even though, despite all the Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur and the GM and all the hate that he's saying he's going to retire or sit out, I don't buy any of it. I don't think they're going to trade him at all. They're just going to keep playing chicken. And then Rodgers will have to play this season if he wants to earn money.
I disagree.
I think
He's
he'll
not
play-
gonna play.
I think
He's
he'll
gonna
play the
sit.
entire season.
That's a bold hot take, man.
That is a hot take. That's my prediction. I
That's
have
part
him
of your
starting
prediction. Okay.
the entire season.
I give you that. Yeah, I give you that.
They're not going to trade him at all. Rodgers will have to play if he wants to still be called the GOAT, which he is. Packers will win their division 12-5. They're not going to have those 14 or 13 wins like they usually will, but they'll cruise this division. I mean, Vikings, Bears, Lions, they're not going to be good. They're all not going to be good at all.
I disagree. I feel like
Bears 4-13. I know a lot of Bears fans are going to be mad about that, but I just don't
No.
believe in Dalton. Dalton's going to start the first half of the season. He's going to win maybe a game or two, lose a bunch, and then they're going to put in Justin Fields, and they're going to keep losing. I think their defense, not even top 10. Because they're kind of old. They do have playmakers that can make sacks.
But they got rid of Kyle Fuller, which with a big.
They got rid of some good DBs. They did.
Yeah.
I still don't like how they got rid of Bryce Callahan. That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
That
he
was
was
a
a
bad
great
one.
player.
He was
No,
great DB.
but going on to my predictions,
Yeah.
I have Rodgers not playing at all. I have him sitting out and just protesting, and I have Jordan Love playing the whole season. I have Jordan Love going 5-12. I have Jordan Love and the Packers going 5-12,
Yeah.
second to last in their division, and I have the Vikings. I feel like they're gonna have a little bit of an up year. Not like they're not a playoff team. They're just like right below that. I have them going 8-9 because
Okay.
I feel like their defense is going to be revamped. They're going to get all their players back,
Yeah.
like all their players nice and healthy, and then they'll have their offense with Kirk Cousins. And I feel like Kellen Mond might take over as the starting QB by the end of this year. That's Mateo's
rookie?
hot take. Yeah, from Texas A&M.
Interesting.
Because Kirk Cousins is so, in my opinion, inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. But they do have solid receivers.
Against great teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
And solid running back. So they have a good season, just not great. But with the Bears, I have them winning their division. I have them going 10-7, winning the division, but not by much.
I don't know about that. That's kind of a hot.
Their defense, I feel like, is gonna have a better year than they did last year. They have really good rookies,
They do.
defensive rookies,
Yeah.
and their offensive line is gonna be way better than they did last year. And Montgomery, I feel like he's gonna pick up from where he left off and be that star. And
What about Cohen? Cohen's gonna be
Cohen,
back.
I don't know. We have Damian Williams.
Oh yeah, him
Don't
too.
forget about him. And it's just gonna be like a non-stop fight between them two. But Montgomery's gonna be like the main guy. But their offensive line is gonna be so much better,
So much better.
so much better. And don't forget, they picked up a bunch of speed demons
They
this
did.
offseason. They got
Marquise Goodwin.
and Damian Bird, which are both really fast receivers.
Yeah.
And Mooney's fast. Allen Robinson's just a stud, most underrated receiver in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is pretty underrated.
Yes, he's gonna be. The offense is gonna take up from last year. I have like playing what you said, Dalton playing up until that game against the Bucks, and then put Foles in
Foles.
against the Bucks,
I don't
and
see
then
that. Foles for one game.
Yes.
I think he might
because
be cut.
Fields is gonna like mess up his knee during practice and be out for a week, and Foles is gonna play that one game and then win that game, and then Fields is gonna take over from there, and then they'll lead the team to the playoffs, and for there it's history.
Maybe. All right.
It's
Now-
gonna be a tough division, but Lions I'm going last in the division. 4-13.
Lions. Yeah, me too.
They have no receiving weapons. They have nothing.
I still like Goff though, but Goff is
Inconsistent.
average. He is inconsistent, and he doesn't have good offensive weapons, so he's gonna have more turnovers. We saw how he was when he didn't have weapons on the Rams, and they had a great defense. It would be close games, or they would lose by 14, and he would have a bunch of turnovers.
Yeah.
I see that happening, and I see him losing almost every game. They're bad.
So let's go a little bit in the Midwest. Though. Let's go to the AFC South.
AFC
South. I mean, it's gonna
okay.
be head to head. I have the Titans and the Colts going head to head. Like both going 11-6 because Carson Wentz, I feel like is gonna have a revamped year. He's gonna be the MVP MVP material Carson Wentz. Because he's with his OC Frank Wright. Frank Wright was his OC when he had those great seasons as the Eagle.
Yeah.
And Tennessee's gonna go crazy. 11-6 because of their defense and the competition within their division.
And because of Julio Jones?
Yes.
That offense.
And I have the Jaguars. It's going to be, you know what's a fun fact? It's going to be Trevor Lawrence's first ever regular season loss in his football career. It's gonna be
yeah.
in the
He's
NFL.
never lost a game in high school
A regular season game.
In high school and college?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So he's going to get his first loss. I have him going 5-12. So, because they're still growing. They have a young defense. They have a young offense. They're going to grow with that and going to grow within a few years. They're going to be a contender, not next year, but give them 2 to 3 years, and they'll be that contender that we all wanted them to be. Saxonville 2.0. And then I have Texans going dead last. You don't know what Watson's doing. There has been, as of today, there's been nothing new with that.
Yeah. I think he said publicly, he said he's prepared to sit out the entire year. And I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm sad because I want to draft him for
year.
fantasy again. I love that man.
But their
for
quarterback,
fantasy.
they have Tyrod Taylor.
And Davis Mills as a rookie at the guy Al Stanford.
Because of this Julio Jones trade, I have the Titans offense going explosive. I think they'll go 15-2. This is not bias. Not bias at all. They're going to be explosive, blowing away the league. They're going to be 15-2.
Let me guess. Their 2 losses are against the Colts.
I don't.
Because the Colts are going to have one of the best defenses in the league.
No, I have them going 6-0 against their division.
Oh, that's a.
I have the Colts going second, 11-6. Carson Wentz will play like a Pro Bowl. Maybe be in discussion for MVP. He will not be an MVP this season, though. He'll have a Pro Bowl year. And then the Jags, I have them going the same record, 5-12. Texans, 1-16. They're not going to go 0-17. They'll win at least one game. They're going to be the worst team in the league.
I see that. They are going to be the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
And Bill O'Brien, y'all know, didn't really help with that at all.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go to
He's gone, though.
Let's go to the AFC West. This is gonna be the toughest division on the AFC side, in my opinion.
It's still funny because that AFC West is capped. That was from my old prediction. But this is my new prediction. That's when I said the Chargers were 15-2. I don't have them going 15-2 this time. But you could go first.
I mean, I have the Chargers going 11-6.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a good team. They're gonna be a good team.
Playoff?
Be a healthy team, yes, playoff team, healthy team. And the Chiefs are gonna lead the division because Chiefs are an absolute powerhouse. They're gonna go 13-4.
They are.
And the Broncos, you don't know what Broncos we're gonna get. The Broncos, I feel, going 10-7, not making the playoffs though.
Okay.
They're gonna be, and I have Raiders going dead
Who do you
last.
have them starting, the Broncos?
Drew Lock. They're still gonna go Drew Lock all year.
The entire year?
It's his third. Well, Drew Lock, unless injuries happen, but he doesn't get injured often. But Drew Lock, it's his third year. After his year, it's gonna be a hit or miss if it's gonna be their year or not.
Yeah. Okay, so because of these TikTok haters, I have the Chiefs, and I rethinked it all. I have the Chiefs winning their division.
Yeah, so Chiefs fans out
They're
there.
going 15-2. This is not biased.
No,
It's not biased.
that's a good
And then
prediction. in my opinion.
Chargers. I actually do not have them making the playoffs. I don't.
How do you go from them going to being the best team
And I
in
had
the
to take
league?
some time after all this hate and all this rethinking and all this numbers, because it takes time to look at the schedule and predict it all.
Yeah.
I was maybe a little biased on the Chargers. Maybe they're not ready just yet, but they're going to be decent. They're going to be 8-9. They're going to be 3-3 in their division. Justin Herbert will have an outstanding sophomore year, but it's going to take some time for them to be a playoff team. Broncos 8-9. They're going to be third in their division. They're going to switch off between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. That defense is going to carry them.
Oh yeah, they're the best
They're
secondary
going to have
in the
a
league.
great defense, maybe top 5, definitely top 10. Raiders, 6-11, last in their division. What's going to kill them is their division record. They're going to be 1-5. Their division record.
their defense can't do anything against
defense-
this offense.
The defense
the
is still
offenses.
bad. But, like,
They got Yannick Ngakwe, but he's not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Not one guy can change around the whole defense.
they're still going to struggle against the Chiefs and the Chargers and the Broncos. And John Gruden, I like John Gruden, great entertainment guy and all, but he's an okay coach. He's like a 500 coach.
Yeah, he's just
An 8-8 record.
not anymore.
Not anymore.
9,
8-9, 9-8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not anymore.
not anymore.
Then let's go to another tough AFC division, AFC North.
Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. You go.
I do not have them doing well at all.
Yeah.
I have the Browns are going to go crazy. The Browns they fixed all their loopholes in their defense.
Yeah.
They're going to go crazy. I'm going 13-4. They're going to go.
You think Garrett's going to have a great year?
Oh yeah, he's going to lead the league in sacks.
Yeah.
Because
And Cloudy too, right?
yeah, and they got a really good defensive line, and they got John
Decent
Johnson,
DBs. Yeah.
great DBs. Then I have Baltimore. Baltimore's always going to be good for the next couple of years. They're just going to be a playoff team. I'm going 11-6 because they lost key parts to their offensive line. They lost their starting center to Miami, and they lost Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown was a star right tackle.
Yeah.
And they got Alejandro Villanueva, but you don't know what you're going to get out of him because he's old.
He's getting older. He didn't perform that well with the Steelers this season. It was okay. I think he's going to be maybe a bust for them.
And don't forget, Ronnie Staley is going to be coming back from a really bad, gruesome leg injury.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're going to get out of him.
Uh-huh.
Which he's a great and they have a solid defense. Great secondary, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. And yeah, I'm just leave that there with the Ravens.
What about the Steelers?
Steelers, I have them going 7-10
Okay.
because Big Ben's going to try and do something, but they're not going to be able to
Try to do something.
try to do something, but they're not going to do much. Good defense, great defense. Just their offense is going to kill them. Because Najee Harris is going to have a great year. He's probably going to have like 800, 900 yards. But it's just going to be literally like an air wall besides David DeCastro for their offensive line.
What about the Bengals?
Bengals, dude, the Bengals really made me mad with their draft pick. They should have drafted Penei Sewell. They did not need a receiver. Their offensive line is going to be literally, I don't know how else to display it. It's literally a plane going through a cloud. Right?
It's going to be a lot of screens and a lot of dump-off passes.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, his knee's going to be no more. He's going to be sucking.
He might be hurting.
He will
I
get
think he
hurt.
might get hurt
My
again.
prediction is that he will get hurt.
All right, so for my AFC North, I do have the Browns going first in their division. 12-5. They're going to go 6-0 their division games. They're going to beat everybody. Their defense and offense, really good. Mayfield, inconsistent.
He's been growing.
But
He's been growing as a player.
they're going to be a run game team.
Oh,
Despite
yeah. I
Odell
agree.
and Jarvis Landry being, Odell's going to be better this year. He's going to be healthy, but they're just going to run heavy with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
But I feel like they should trade Odell because they did better with.
They did,
They
yeah.
did better without him, and the cap hit. They get good value off him.
They could, but I feel like they're going to keep them because they just. I mean, that's been circulating around for maybe a year, maybe 2 by now. And if Mayfield feels like he needs to force the ball to Odell, have you seen that?
Yeah.
He throws more incompletions and interceptions when Odell Beckham is on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to be a run-heavy team with Stefanski, their head coach.
Great coach.
And the Ravens, I have them going second in their division, 10-7. Lamar Jackson, he's still going to rush. He might get another 1,000-yard season. He's going to get a bunch of rushing yards again.
Don't
Might
forget
get
about J.K. Dobbins though.
J.K. Dobbins.
He's gonna have a breakout year. Good fantasy pickup, by the way.
Yes. Their offense, I still see their offense doing really well against teams because Lamar's just fast, and they're a great running team. And their defense is, they're still going to make plays. Steelers, ooh, this is going to be a bad year. They're not This is gonna be Mike Tomlin's first year. The Steelers are gonna have a losing record. I think they're gonna go 8-9. Roethlisberger, he's gonna. This is probably gonna be his last year. He's gonna have a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions and fumbles lost. Their offense isn't gonna do anything.
But
They're gonna be bad.
But don't forget though, for the following next year, they're gonna have the most cap space in
They
the
are.
NFL.
They're
So-
gonna try to re-sign. I think they're gonna give Juju Smith-Schuster a big deal though.
and make at 3-7 Minka Fitzpatrick and
Yeah,
TJ
he's a
Watt.
great-
but
great
that
player.
that's for next year.
I believe their defense is going to be inconsistent. Despite how good their defense was this year, I think they could have some injuries or just star players might not just make big plays anymore.
don't forget they don't have Bud Dupree anymore, who
Yeah, I
got a
know.
lot of sacks with
He's
them.
on the Titans now.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then Cincinnati, obviously worst team in the league, or worst team in their division. They're going to be 4-13. Burrow, he's going to have a decent year too.
he's gonna get
might
injured
get
halfway
hurt.
through the season.
He might get hurt again. The only reason why I say he might get hurt is because it's still like, to me, it's still like a touch football league, a two-hand touch. I don't think it's as hard as it used to be
Yeah.
because they're protected by the refs and the
But
hits aren't just
don't
as hard
forget
anymore.
who the 6 games are playing against. Like top 10 defenses in the NFL.
Yeah,
The Browns have the best defensive line in the NFL,
yeah.
and he's playing them twice.
The Bengals,
Offensive line's
they're
horrible.
going to be 1-5 in their divisional games.
Yeah.
They're going to probably beat the Steelers once, and that's it.
I agree with that. And now let's go towards the Atlantic AFC East, a really tough division. Also, I have surprising numbers for me.
Oh, you do?
It may be surprising. I have the Bills going down. They didn't improve from last year. I have them going down a little bit in wins.
Okay.
I have them going 11-6 because the Patriots are going to step back up. Dolphins are going to be step back. They're going to step up, and the Jets. They're going to be better than last year, but they're going to get a lot more wins than last year. And their defense is very underrated.
They are.
Their front seven is very underrated.
And Mosley's back.
Mm-hmm. And they have Marcus May, and they have underrated corners. They're going to be a underrated team this next year. So going on with the standings, I have Patriots and Dolphins both tied going 10-7. They're both going to be good teams. I have Ken Newton going back to his pre-COVID Newton.
Yes.
His pre-COVID Newton was MVP material.
Yeah, he was really good. He was
Yes.
Pro Bowl material.
Yeah, so I think that's going to happen, and Dolphins are going to have a breakout year besides Tua. Everyone's going to be good besides Tua. I just don't have faith in the guy.
Tua?
Well, no, but this will be the real answer to his quest of being a star QB. Because they have all the weapons they need now. They got Will Fuller, they got Devontae Parker, they got
Albert
Jalen
Wilson.
and
Allen
Jalen Waddle.
Hurts.
And Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki.
Yeah.
This is gonna be his year. And Myles Gaskin. I like that. I like him a lot.
He is. He's a good fantasy and good starting running back
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah. So he's gonna. This is gonna be his make or break year. And I have the Jets going 7-10 because they're gonna be underrated.
Wow.
Underrated, but
It's a lot of wins for the Jets.
I know. But I love their head coach. I love Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
He's a
good
great
guy.
defensive guy. He's gonna step up the defense, step up the team. Great year for him. A great year for him, and it's just gonna be a future idea about what the Jets can become.
Okay, so for my AFC West East, Bills. I've been winning their division, 13-4. Josh Allen will have another good year. Their defense is going to do well. Offense going to do well. I do predict though that Mitch Trubisky, the backup, will start 2 games, at least 2
Why?
games.
Why?
Because Allen will probably get hurt and miss 1 game, and then they're probably the last game's not going to be
Okay, I see that.
that
I
much,
see
so
that.
they're going to start Mitch Trubisky again. Mitch Trubisky will get his chance. And the Pats, I have them going second in their division, 9-8. Newton will be way better this season passing. He'll have more passing touchdowns than interceptions. He'll throw 20-plus passing touchdowns. He's going to have some good rushing yards, too. He's got better weapons. Their offense is still kind of but I still think Newton will be really good this season under year 2 with Bill Belichick. Dolphins, they're going to have another great defense. Tua, they have the offensive weapons, but I don't believe in Tua, just like you said earlier. I still think he needs more time to develop, maybe. I don't think he is a franchise quarterback yet, or maybe ever. I mean, I still think they should have kept Fitzpatrick as a starter.
Like I said, this is gonna be his quiz,
Yeah.
like his test to see
Quest.
if he's the guy.
Yeah. I'm going 8-9. Jets, they're going to be better than last year, but I'm going 4-13. I think Zach Wilson is going to struggle because I don't see the Jets being that good. I really don't. I think their offense is going to struggle. Defense is going to do better.
Don't forget, their offense is they have a key offensive lineman. They
have some key receivers.
They have
James
Kevin
Crowder.
Coleman, which is a solid guy.
He is.
He's Jamison Crowder. He has the Denzel Mims.
Yeah.
He has a chance, and it's gonna be a whole new system for these guys too.
I think Zach Wilson's going to struggle though.
Yeah, I can see that because of first year QB.
Yeah. Now, since we got all our NFL regular season predictions,
Let's just say our Super Bowl predictions.
we have our playoff predictions, but right now, because of time, we're just going to go with Super Bowl predictions right now.
Mm-hmm.
So who are your Super Bowl predictions? And tell us the winner if you want to.
I have
If you can.
Buccaneers and Browns in the Super Bowl.
That is interesting.
Tom Brady is gonna, because Tom Brady in the playoffs is built different.
He is.
He seems to get better as he gets older,
Well, I think he gets a lot of luck in the playoffs.
but he has a great team surrounding him.
He does. He has a great team roster.
Great offensive line, great defense, great running back.
Receivers.
So
Running back,
and I have the Browns, like I said earlier, are an outstanding team. And the winner of my 2021-2022 season will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady wins his 7th Super Bowl. 8th Super Bowl.
It
Never
will be
mind.
his 8th Super Bowl.
Eighth
11th appearance.
8th Super Bowl win.
God, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't have it happening in my predictions. I have Tampa Bay losing the playoffs. So this is my Super Bowl predictions. I have the 49ers. Jimmy G will play against the Colts. I might be overhyping the Colts a little bit right now.
I agree with the Colts.
But
The Colts are very good.
If it's not the Colts, it's either the Niners versus the Buccaneers. Or no. It is the Niners versus the Colts. My bad. I have the Niners versus the Colts. If it's not the Colts, I have the Chiefs. That's what I meant to say. So it's either going to be Niners Colts or Niners Chiefs. And between those two games, I still have the Niners winning. Niners will beat the Chiefs or the Niners will beat the Colts. I have Jimmy G reviving his career, showing people that he's a proven starter and he can get the job done. They should have beat the Chiefs last time, but Kyle Shanahan robbed them of the game by not running the ball. They'll do it again this time and force a lot of turnovers in the Super Bowl. So,
say the Niners win it all.
I have Niners winning it all.
Hot take. Okay.
Even on the old prediction, I had the Niners winning it all.
All right, so now you want to go on to our top 5 free agents available.
Yes, you can.
So for my number 1, I have Morgan Moses. He's the youngest offensive lineman out there right now. He's solid. He had a decent year last year. He allowed 5 sacks, which is pretty solid. Which is not. It's
pretty good.
It's not too good, not too bad.
But I mean, he's like.
And he had 6 penalties on the year.
Out of all like the free agents, like right now, he's like the best because there's not really much stars.
Because everyone got signed, of course.
And there's a lot of like there's stars out there, but they're really old.
Who's your number 1?
I have the same guy, Morgan Moses. I think he's 30 years old. Played for the Washington football team, like you said, allowed 5 sacks this season. Not great, but it's still good. It's the best free agent out there that's left. I mean, everybody else is like
Older.
way older,
But
and like not a lot of studs.
My number 2 will surprise you. I have Brian Poole. He will
Brian Poole. I know who he is, but
he'll be a great.
He's okay.
Hear me out. Great number 2 or slot corner. He got 2 interceptions last year and 7 pass deflected.
Yeah.
Which is really solid for a number 2 corner. So teams who need more in that secondary. Also, he's a veteran too. If they need extra people in the secondary, he'll be a cheap asset to be a great signing for a cornerback.
Yeah.
For a team that picks him up.
It's a good number 2. I can respect that. But for my number 2, I have Justin Houston, the edge linebacker. He played for the Colts last season. He's 32 years old
He
now.
still has gas in the tank.
He does. It's he wasn't selected to a Pro Bowl last year either.
He should have.
He should have. He had 8 sacks. He forced some fumbles. He's still good. He can still do it.
Still a
He
leader.
revived his career with the Colts.
Yeah, and he's still a leader.
He's still a leader.
He'll be good. To a good young defensive line, defensive line. He'll be a great mentor because he led this league in sacks a couple years ago with like 22.
He did. That was a long time.
Long time ago, but he still has that experience.
I think he could still force sacks and force a lot of pressure on, the quarterback.
He won't be a good main defensive option, but he'll be good number 2 defensive option.
I think he could be a good main defensive option, but it has to be on a really good defense, like the Colts or the Browns.
Yeah.
And I think teams can get him for cheap.
Yeah, since he's been a long
That's why I
time.
have him as my number 2.
My number 3 is the guy we all love, Mitchell Schwartz. He was a first-team All-Pro 2 years ago, and he's a great offensive lineman. He'll be a great mentor to some offensive linemen, and he can fill up the extra weak spots for some teams who need help on the offensive line. He might be a little expensive, probably within the $5-10 million range.
Yeah.
But he could still. He only allowed 2 sacks last year, but he played in 6 games. Which he'll be solid to have an offensive line, but he'll be a great asset to a team.
Yeah, I agree. Number 3, I have Mitchell Schwartz. Like you said, allowed 2 sacks. He's 32 years old. I still think he could be a good starter in the league. Decent starter. I think he'll be more durable this season than he was last season. I think he'll play 14, 15
he got injured
games.
last year.
He did, yeah. I think he'll be more durable this season. And he could be a great asset to a team that needs to build a better offensive line or have just a better offensive line.
Yeah, they just have a better break.
Yes.
And my number 4 is Richard Sherman. He was a Pro Bowler, don't forget, the year before last year.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowler. So you'll know what Sherman we're going to get, because he didn't play many games last year, but last year Sherman still got 1 interception for how many games he played.
He played 5, I believe.
And that's still solid.
That's okay. But I guess, solid.
For how old he is.
And how old he is, yeah.
And that's the level of a defense that he's on. So I mean, he'll be a good, free safety or strong safety.
Yes.
He'll be great, because he plays tough. He's a tough guy. Guy who needs more. He'd be great for a team that needs help in the secondary. Yeah. Which, not to say team, but the Vikings, again, that may be an option.
Yeah. My number 4, this is crazy. We almost have the same
list. My gosh.
It's Richard Sherman. Like you said, he cannot play DB anymore. I think he can't play cornerback. He has to be free safety or strong safety. I prefer free safety. He's 33 years of age. I still believe he can force interceptions. He hypes up his defense. He still plays tough, makes tackles, and plays. He played a lot better on the Niners than his last season with Seattle. He was so unmotivated to play.
And a great mentor.
He's an okay mentor. He still wants to be a starter. He has the experience, Super Bowl experience. He's been to 3 Super Bowls. I still think he can make plays, and I really feel like he might re-sign with the Niners, but for cheap money though. But he could be a good asset to other teams too. He can make, like I said, still make plays as a free safety.
And my number 5 is, like I said earlier, Justin Houston. He's just a monster. He's getting old, but he'll be a good asset for the Ravens, who lost 2 great pass rushers, Matthew Judon and Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
So he'll be a great asset to put on that defense.
Yeah. Weird. Number 5, Melvin Ingram. Because you already said, Justin Houston. Yeah. He was my number 2. I have Melvin Ingram. The only concern I have with Melvin Ingram was last season. He wasn't durable. Started 7 games, got hurt, had 0 sacks.
Which was really
terrible. Last season was a fluke. It was a terrible season. But for the previous 3 seasons, he's been selected to Pro Bowls. Yeah. Got 10 sacks, 7.5, 7.5.
Yeah.
And he's still good. I still think he can force pressure to the quarterback.
He's kind of like Justin.
32 years old.
He's kind of like Justin Houston. He still
he's the same age too.
Yeah, same exact age. He still has the tank in him to do. Yeah, make big plays. He'll be a good mentor, a great person to help the young core, who needs more pass rushers and edge rushers.
You're
Yeah.
saying great mentor? He could be a great mentor. I think he could still be a
'Cause
great starter.
He'd be a great starter as well, but just think like he's getting up there and he might be injury prone.
He might be,
So yeah.
but I think he'll be durable, more durable this time, and force more sacks this season. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up the show for today.
Great show.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and our TikTok.
Follow
the
TikTok
QZ Show
and-
to get the latest on the NFL news and our predictions.
and don't forget to we're almost there to our 100 subscriber mark. Don't forget you get $20 two $10 gift cards of your choice and a free QZ t-shirt. It'll be like this it'll be like this long sleeve
Yeah, you could get a black long sleeve like us.
or a t-shirt, and it'll be randomly drawn. And all you have to do is just share the video, like, and comment, and that's it.